We scalp gold, US30, RTY, and NAS100 together in my trading pod live. And I want to break down all of those trades for you here today. I probably trade a lot different than many of the traders in the YouTube space. So I come to add value and add a different perspective on how to look at the market. So what you're gonna see is 2 scalps on US30 or YM, 1 scalp on RTY, 1 scalp on NAS100, and 1 scalp on gold. We had a massive day because there was a strong news catalyst that came out. It was the PMIs. I share everything from my daily report card process, how I use fundamentals and the bigger picture, down to my setups and my scalp entries and trade management. So you definitely want to stay for the entire video. Send this video to an inspiring scalper. There's so much misinformation about scalping in our space. I come to shed light on how you can successfully scalp and be a consistently profitable scalper. To see my 5 tips from pros on scalping, watch this video that's in the right-hand corner. Let's jump into it right now. All right, let's jump in here. When I hopped on the call with the group, the very first thing I did, I was dropping my kids off at school. I was running late, but we had a great session, okay? So the first thing I did, I popped open TradeZella. There's a 10% discount if you use my code, but I use TradeZella and I store my daily report card there. I have a template. I just click a button and then that template is populated. So my goal was to execute with a risk. This was a risk type of day, right? I had a trade idea that was an A idea because this was the day following NVIDIA. NVIDIA had great earnings. In February, when they had great earnings, the following day, we had a continuation to the upside. So I traded NVIDIA and I'm coming into this day with a bullish bias, right? But I have another scenario. So I have a bullish scenario and a bearish scenario, okay? I start to do my checkoffs and I start to populate TradeZella. I'm writing up the big picture for me, okay? So I'm talking about NVIDIA here and I'm telling the group, I'm articulating this all to the group. So NVIDIA caused massive moves on NQ and ES, NAS100 and SPX. And then today for our intraday fundamentals, right? We have the biggest moves, the largest moves on indices when we have intraday fundamentals that are connected nowadays to inflation, right? When the Fed comes out, FOMC minutes, when Powell speaks, when we have the data releases like CPI, PPI, PMI, et cetera, that are all related to inflation, you have huge moves, right? On indices and gold as well. We caught gold today too. So basically I have 2 items that are coming out. The flash PMIs are the most important for me. But if I have both of them, extremely good for the dollar, I'm bearish on indices. Both of them extremely good or extremely weak or extremely bad for the dollar, then what I mean by extremely, it misses the expectations, right? That's what I mean. It significantly misses the expectations that are forecasted by the analysts. Then we are going to go bullish for the dollar. Bullish for indices, okay? So I put that in my notes, and I also have in my notes my plan, which I have the symbols that I'm going to be looking at. I go over to the chart and I'm looking at the chart, okay? And then I start to fill out my game plan. And normally I game plan. I put NQ is in focus, ES is in focus because of NVIDIA and the tech companies that follow. And then I have YM, RTY, and gold, okay? And I start to list out what the catalysts are, right, for the move. And then I also list out my risk, A risk here and B plus risk for US30 and RTY, okay? So I talk about a few parameters that I wanna see. I wanna see elevated RVOL above 1, right? I wanna see my ADDQ above 1,000. I want to see my tick elevated as well. So I start writing these things down and I'm communicating these things to the group, okay? So I'll keep a few windows up and you'll see them in a minute and then we'll jump right into the chart, right? So I have a market internals chart where I keep the ADDQ, I keep the tick ADD, the NYSE tick and the NASDAQ tick, right? I keep the DXY here. I have the VIX here, the volatility index for the S&P. I have all these up on one screen. So I'm setting up my screens quickly. I have Forex Factory over here, and I actually use something called Trade the News so that I can hear the report as it's being printed versus me having to read it. This helps me with making quick decisions, okay? All right, so now I'm going through the chart and I am just setting up my markups, okay? And my if-then statements, okay? So this is before the 8:30, my 8:30 CST, 9:30 EST open. So I'm marking up my charts here, and I'll explain in a few minutes. Okay. So what I was looking at for indices at the time before the market opened, I had two scenarios. I was looking for a pullback and then a push to the upside on NQ, looking for a pullback to either one of these zones because I was overall bullish. Okay. Okay. So I'm marking up my charts, marking up my zones, and I had a few scenarios, right, where the current price was at. So I'm starting off with US30 here. I'm marking up US30. And one scenario that I had was that I was looking for potential, this level, this resistance level, us potentially drop and get a bounce, right? Because I was overall bullish, right? That's my bullish scenario. And I'm going to mark that up here. So I'm looking for a bounce here on US30, right? Potential drop and a bounce. Because at this time, the weekly jobs that came out was positive for the dollar. Or I'm looking for this support to this level here to potentially hold. Now, gold had dropped, right? And we are overall bullish on gold. So I was still looking for a potential bounce as well. But I was going to play this as an intraday fundamental move, right? So I wanted to see the report come out for the dollar, and then we would see how we were going to play it, okay? So I'm looking for a push to the upside, aggressive buying to come in, and a potential pullback for an entry. Or if we had the flip scenario, a potential push down to the downside, and then an entry. Okay, so that's a gold scenario. So I'm quickly hitting NQ, ES. Now we're high here on NQ because of NVIDIA, right? So NVIDIA took off from lower down here, and then it pushed all the way to the upside. So I'm looking for us to get a pullback, like profit taking to happen, and then for us to catch a bounce. But at the market open, I will change my bias based on intraday fundamentals, based on my market internals, etc. Right? But I'm just marking up my NQ zones here, and I'm setting up my alarms. Okay, so we're doing this all live together. This is all being done on Zoom. So I'm talking through things. I've muted this. You can hear me talking through.
This one right here is my main one that I want to trade from. S1, S2 is another idea, and this is S3 here. This one point right here, which I don't really want to trade from this one, but I just want to be alarmed as it's going through, as price comes through it. So I'll just be aware of what's happening if I do have to look away. Okay, so I got my game plan in. From a fundamentals perspective, I've already communicated to myself how much I'm going to risk on everything. NQ, ES gets the most risk, YM and RTY gets less risk, and I have my evidence statements pretty much like written out. And yeah, so I know I'm not going to trade right now. That's I've already said that to myself. So if I see something, I'm just still going to wait because I want to see. I need to let that news come out, and then I'll know my what my play is going to be. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to trade the news because they dropped the news fast. Forex Factory lags, so I'm going to log in to trade the news right now because I'm going to listen to the SWAC, which is where they, again, you can do whatever you need to do on your side. Follow your plan on your side, right? Today is just me.
You're listening to Trade the News.
Everybody
You're listening to Trade the News.
All right, so I'm going to go to the futures FX.
So I'll open up Trade the News. Now, this is a paid subscription, excellent service. If you're looking for fast print to make decisions, this is an excellent platform. Okay.
FX section, and they're gonna give us the economic data, but I think I'll mute it for your side.
Trading on the NYSE is underway.
Let's see what we opened up. All right, we're up. So we're down for the day. We're up for the day on ADD and ADDQ. That's good. Tick is up as well. All right, that's all good. And now I'm just gonna watch everything, how everything's opening up. NQ, YM.
I have this sped up to 2x, so that's why my voice sounds like that.
All right, so we're dropping here. And RTY dropping. So let's see everything on the same time zone, same interval. All right, 5 minutes. Trade the news. It's like $99, but I don't think you need it. I really don't think you need it right now. All right, so we got everything is dropping. So YM is approaching my support level, and RTY is pulling back as well. All right, so I'm gonna pull trade the news over into a different view. Okay, and I'm gonna keep it in a different view so I can see it as things are coming out. Okay, and I don't know if y'all can hear him, but if y'all can't, I'll just tell you like what the release is. I'm gonna keep Forex Factory open a different tab as well. Okay. All right, so
now the 8:30 candle, 9:30 EST, New York has opened. And what I'm telling everybody is that there's news that comes out 15 minutes after. So normally when I have this scenario, I don't take the play at the 8:30 because I want to see how that 9:45 EST news comes out, okay? So I'm just being disciplined. Even though I see price dropping on NQ, ES, RTY, and US30, I'm going to be disciplined. I'm going to wait.
I'm glad this drop is happening because this is coming. You want to let the trades come to you, right? So the drop is actually what I want to see happen. I don't have a play right here yet, so I'm just not doing anything but waiting. Okay. But I do know that if US30 comes into my zone, into just this area, period, I'm going to be on the lower time frame looking for to settle and looking for like a gap and go type of setup or interface type of setup. Okay. But NQ and ES is most important for me today. All right. So I got to set up my trading laptop real quick. Hold on, I'm going to switch over just real quick. If you have any questions, just let me know. Just unmute and just let me know. Okay. Yeah, but I didn't use Trade the News until I already had enough like
S&P up about 24 points, and Nasdaq up 160 points here in the early going of 1,023 in NVIDIA shares. And FMH trading up about 2.5%.
So that's the squawk.
Again, this is the challenge of being in business. You have family, you have.
So that's the squawk, right? So you hear him reading the numbers to us. So what we're going to do is I'm going to fast forward a little bit so we can read the numbers at the 9:45. Okay, so we're just on a call. We're waiting. I'm telling them, hey, we're going to wait. We're seeing price drop. I'm not just jumping in because as of right now, I don't have a play for my particular playbook. Okay, so I'm just going to let price come to me. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. I'm going to wait. And I'm gonna look to execute once price comes to my zone, as well as I'm able to interpret that news that comes out.
So full disclosure, I have not. This is all educational purposes. If I take a trade, this is not advice to take any investments or anything like that. And then this is the very first time that I'm really trading in front of people. Like just live. I've done a docuseries that added some something to worry about. But today I'm gonna try to manage my focus as best as possible. Okay, so this is my first time doing it, but I'll try to talk everything out as I'm doing it. All right, so NQ is still dropping, which is good. It's good. We need a pullback. I want to get as deep as I can for a buy. If we get the pullback, the institutions they want to buy things as cheap as possible, right? So
NQ is pulling back, YM is dropping, and we're still here, right? Looking at everything.
So you may say, man, you're missing out on sell. I didn't have any edge for my style, right? So I don't even worry about it. I don't worry about like what is not in my what's not in my plan. I don't even worry about it. I just look for what I'm looking for. And the day is still, it's just beginning. So, all right, so let's go.
Reminder, we're a few minutes here from data. The S&P Global Manufacturing Services and Composite PMIs will be out.
So yes, he said a few minutes. Can y'all hear that? Can y'all hear what he said?
Okay, so he just said that there's a few minutes until the PMI is coming out, right? So what this does, it allows me to focus on the screen, right? I'm going to be scalping. I'm going to be catching big, quick moves, and by allowing me to hear the print, it will shave some seconds off my reaction time, right? Because I have to go to one window, I have to look away, look at the print myself. Then that's going to that right there is going to take my attention away.
Or 10 seconds now from S&P PMI readings.
Okay, he says 10 seconds until the PMI readings. So here's where it's about to get interesting.
54.8 for the services, 50.9 for the manufacturing, beats the 49.9. Composite at 54.4. Again, 50.9 in PMI manufacturing back into positive territory above the 49.9 expected.
So he reads out the numbers and they are hotter than expected. Okay, like scorching hot, right? So from my perspective, I had a bullish bias overall for the day, but I had a bearish scenario as well. So this fits my bearish scenario. Okay, so I start talking about it a little bit, and then this is what I say. I go to YM. I'm thinking a little bit, and then I let this candle close, and then I go to YM. Okay, so I go to YM, I bring it up, and then we're gonna take a scalp here. So I tell the group, hey, take the scalp, enter. And or I'm telling them I'm entering, right? So I'm not guaranteeing anything in this call. And what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna be looking at all of them. I favored the sells on US30 more than NQ, ES, right? Because of NVIDIA, but we went ahead, we took the sell here, okay? So I tell them to take the sell and I'm talking them through what to do here.
That's our scout. We need to watch it and watch for momentum to start to die out. If it doesn't die out, you can just hold on to it until you start to see some rejection. Okay. This is a quick move, and then we still have more moves to catch. So let's see how it starts to start to play out. But with everybody's listening to Trade the News and Bloomberg Terminal and all this right now, right? So we're not the only people. Stock market is listening to it, right? So we have tick. Let me just explain. So I'll just forget about my trades and stuff. Let me just explain. So y'all, this is a demonstration, right? Okay, so ADD is down, ADDQ is down, right? So those are good positive correlations with our sell, right? So that's one thing. Tick went from 500 to negative 500. Okay, so all of this went down, right? So the tick is also in line with the sell. The fundamentals is in line with the sell. Then we have the QL setup, right? So if you didn't catch when I was saying like, yeah, we're gonna do a QL. NQ gave a QL, ES and RTY, all of them gave a QL, right? So now if we caught the QL, what are we doing now, right? So if you're not looking at tape or anything like that, it's okay. So what we would do is we're gonna see if this is what we do. Let's see how we start to reject. Okay, we still have the trade open. We go to break even now. Okay, we go to break even, and then we're clear. because of the fundamentals, both were positive for the dollar. We want to hold on to this one a little bit. Okay. Yeah, we just want to see if we're at break even. We're gonna let this one ride right now for a little bit. Stay on a 1 minute time frame. Sometimes if you're in a scalp, you can go down to like the 30 second as well. And look, we know these candles aren't being taken. So let's see if this low candle, this candle is gonna be taken. More confirmation. Boom, to stay in. Okay. So let's see if this one is broken. We're staying in. So that's like that would be like our first trade on the print, right? It prints out. We hear it on Trade the News. I was looking for a double beat or a double miss, right? So it was doubly positive for the dollar. So that's why I had to switch to a sell quickly. Okay. And now it's okay. Got it. All right. So yeah, so we keep this open. As we have momentum, this can just continue, right? So you start to ask, okay, when do I close? You start to close when you have momentum dying out, right? You can start to, if you want, you can move the stop. But this is like a momentum play. So I would just say like maybe if you start to have some, we're on 30 second right now. So look, this is not even, we have a jump and we look at volume as well, okay? So you're looking at volume. The volume is strong on the bear side. We had some equally, strong bullish volume coming in, but that candle's eating that candle. We have momentum because of the news, right? But we pulled into this, this higher time frame support now, okay? All right, so what I'll be looking at now that we've gotten so far away is I want to see if we get above the 90 MA. If we stay below the 90 MA, then what we'll do is we'll keep that trade open, okay? All right, so let me just zoom out real quick.
Maybe we can sell both intraday or maybe redemption sell if we have pullback.
Okay, good. Let me look at gold right here. Yep. Remember my scenario. So let's see. So I want to mark up I'm putting an alert because I want to catch a redemption here. Okay. GC pulling back.
Okay, so if you remember, I had a down scenario for gold as well.
R1 is like my tier of resistance. That's my premium resistance, right? So that one gets the tier of R1. So look, if you notice, as I'm scalping, I'm on 15-second candles right now. That's because once I'm in the trade, I don't think I've ever told anybody this is something I just do by habit. I can get a greater level of granularity when it comes to like how much momentum, right? So now we have sell volume, we have some buy volume come in. Buying volume is a lot less than sell volume, and those candles are not even competing right now, right? So just look at this here, right? So
beautiful sell.
Let this run until we start to see that.
It's beautiful.
We start to see that we have a reversal, sign of reversal. Okay, so hopefully this is helping. All right, so now that one is running. Scalps I normally try to manage pretty well, but let me just look around real quick. All right, so market internals, I'm gonna keep watching those. Let's look at R-ball, just so I can tell you how I'm looking at R-ball as well. Sorry, again, this is my first time doing all of this stuff today. So look, 1.6.
Okay, so check this out. So I don't just trade US30, ES, YM, NQ from magic levels, right? I learned from the pros to incorporate several variables that will make us that will raise our potential level of success, right? So I'm looking at relative volume. I want the relative volume on what I'm trading to be high, right? At least higher than 1 for indices, okay? I'm looking at the market internals. The ADD is going to tell us if stocks are down. So we were way up here, right? We dropped all the way down to negative 1200. And then for NASDAQ as well, we were up close to 1,000 or higher, and we dropped down all the way down to negative 1,200, right? So these are all great signs after the news came out to show that the declining stocks are greater than the advancing stocks.
That means we're good. We're just looking like a trending day. 1.5, 1.4, 1.1. They're all above 1. So we want to trade. US oil, if you're trading oil is in play. Okay.
So now gold is happening. And remember, we had my if-then statements, right? Where if gold dropped outside of the range and price was bullish for the dollar, then we would sell gold. Okay. So we broke out of this lower time frame range, and now we're coming back to retest it. Okay. So this is just an intraday play. Overall, we're a higher time frame, we're bullish, but this is an intraday sell, okay? Having the understanding of fundamentals here allows us to take advantage of the intraday sell. So here I'm just doing a quick recap, just marking up the zones in greater detail so that I can make sure that, we don't get blindsided, okay? So here I'm gonna say, let's go ahead and take the sell, and boom.
I would say to go ahead and enter with a tight stop loss here. Did you already enter?
Yes.
Okay, and just manage it closely. I'll just go to break even. If you get stopped out, enter again. Volume is good here on that play.
I enter in the second.
Good. Okay, yeah, that's redemption right there. And then you have break even. You're all good.
So redemption. This is one of the scalps that I have.
And now I need to go back to.
So that's gold scalp US30. Okay.
I still do think that NQ is on the bounce.
Something like intrafate.
Or ES even. Yeah, just because, all right, so with from the macro perspective, our internals are saying stocks are down. One thing I do want to look at for potential buys, I don't know if we will buy it, but I want to look at what's going on with
US 30 yields have backed away from session highs here following the new home sales data. We did see a move up in yields after the stronger than expected PMI readings from S&P.
So let's trade the news there. Okay, so now we've hit support, and I'm not going to automatically go and buy. Okay, so here, let's see. So that's so far YM, it's gold. And then what I'm going to be looking for is potential range to form. So we pulled away from VWAP here. So we could see potentially a bounce back up to VWAP. But the problem here is that the market internals are down, right? So what I'm communicating to the group is that I don't want to take sales now because market internals are down.
All right, so I'm really not interested in the bounces on US30 at the moment just because of the news. I'm looking at intraday selling and continuations right now. So whatever we have, any pops up, I really don't want to enter the pops up to the upside unless we have something like this, I'll tell you. So US30 pulls up like this, we get some consolidation like this, and then we get a break of that consolidation. I will give this a lower risk trade, okay? Back up to this first zone right here, and then VWAP, okay? So yeah, but yeah, just to let everybody know, I really enjoying this, and I really appreciate y'all being here, and hopefully it's helpful. But we can figure out ways to make it. I can be more prepared, and then.
So here I'm just explaining a potential buy scenario as a pop up, but what I do is I caution them and say market internals are showing that stocks are down. Okay, we have intraday fundamentals for the bearish side, right? But this is a scenario. Okay, so here skip ahead, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you the next scalp that we took. So US30, it continues lower through there. And I'm going to show you on the call, I caught myself because I was thinking about taking a sell. And then I said to them, no, I think this is an invented trade. Okay, check this out.
The fact that tech is holding up. But since the news came out as sales for stocks, that's why I went to US30 RTY. I may have mentioned that already, so forgive me if I'm sounding like a granddaddy. Sometimes your seniors, they tell you things multiple times and they forgot what they told you. That maybe having a senior moment. But it's good. You may need to hear it, right? Some things we need to hear over and over. Again, okay, I'm rambling. So yeah, let's see if this is going to be more of just like a price action play. I don't necessarily have, if I pull up here and I get a bearish candle, I will take this as a redemption. But as it's moving down, I don't quite have like the sideways consolidation I'm looking for. I'll be looking for something like maybe we create a little bit more sideways movement, but we're down below the 90, maybe broken below the level. I'm tempted to go ahead and sell, but I kind of want to see like a little bit. I may have to put something on here. If I get quiet, I'm just thinking. So okay, I'm doing. What is this, an invented play, or is this a real play? It's feeling kind of invented, so I'm gonna just chill out for a minute. What am I looking for? Okay, I'm looking for consolidation.
So you see, in the moment, I'm always looking for playbook trades, right? I'm looking for one good trade throughout the trading day, right? So we took playbook scalp on US30 on gold, and then you hear me out. Even though I know market internals are down, I know intraday fundamentals are bearish. I catch myself here. I say, is this a setup in my playbook, or is this invented, right? So I said, you know what? I'm tempted to sell here, but I'm going to back away because I'm just inventing a play right now, right? So instead of inventing the play, what I say,
so I want to see that, we're not going to get a pop. I want us to come up here and fail. If I pull up here and I get a bearish candle, if we kind of grind back up here, then I want to take a sell from here. This is what I want to sell from.
Okay, so now this is my play right here, right? So I say I want to get a pop up because I don't want to get caught trying to sell here, and then there's a pop and it takes me out. Okay.
I don't need to stop losses here. I just need price to just grind up here, and then I'll take a sell from here. Otherwise, QL is not looking so QL-ish. It's not such a major move. But I do have to consider that we popped up here and failed. So this was signs of a break, right? So I think what I may do is if we do break below the low of this candle, then I will enter a lower risk sell.
Okay, so now I'm communicating two plays, right? I want to see consolidation and then we drop, or I want to see the pop back up for a sell. Now, the reason why I'm so aggressive on the sells, again, is because the market internals are down. Those are telling us that the declining stocks are more than the advancing stocks, right? So that's one of the reasons why I'm so bearish, even after the day with NVIDIA, right?
Oh, this is good. Market internals also.
I'm looking at tick as well. We're down -200. We aren't above 0, right? We keep riding down like -500 down here, right? So that's another good sign. Now, this is the pop I was talking about, right? So we got the pop back up, okay? And now I'm going to wait here. I'm not just going to enter right away.
Sometimes like this, I enter the first dojo because and was.
Yeah, man, you gotta hold your horses, man. Hold on, y'all just wait. Hold on to them. I know you're ready to go. I'm ready to go too. All right, let's see. We still, I mean, I don't, there's no sign of selling. The entry is not there yet, so let's just wait.
Yes, but it's doji right in the support, and we have a little red one.
So I don't have an entry yet. That's what I'm saying.
And sometimes this trick me. Like, yeah.
I'm waiting.
I feel you, man. Sellers are really standing on business. They standing on it. They standing on it. This is good. This is great. We want price to come all the way back up in here and give us some sell signs. Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna do. If we break this high, I will buy with no hesitation. If we break above this and consolidate and start breaking to the upside, then I'll take something like an intraday type of setup. It's not quite it, but it's the concept, same concept, right? Until then, I'm bearish. Let's see. NQ. Oh yeah. Just kind of grind it up. I mean, if you bought, you made money today. If you sold, you made money. So that's what I love about lower time frame trading. You have enough movement to make money on either side. Overall market trend is still up, but today we took intraday sales. RTY is I just haven't even given it much attention. Well, some of most of y'all may not trade, so I'm just gonna take this off. I don't need to keep anything I'm not looking at. So I have US30, and now what I started to do is US30 is not get too distracted. Okay, lower risk sell here. When I say lower risk, it's not like it's like like my lowest risk here, tier 1. 30 seconds. And let's watch and see. This candle's not supported by a lot of volume. You take a look at the candle. I mean the volume. It's not a lot of volume right now, so I'm just waiting. Even though it's back at our break-even point, I'm not doing anything because the volume is so low. So I'm not even phased by that much of it.
Okay, so now here's where we're gonna start to enter. Okay, so I was just waiting for confirmation. We have to wait for confirmation. We can't get FOMO, right?
Okay, lower risk sell here.
Boom. I say to sell. Let's go. Now we in it.
When I say lower risk, it's not like it's like like my lowest risk here, tier 1. 30 seconds. And let's watch and see.
Okay, so we're gonna let this one play out.
Supported by a lot of volume. You take a look at the candle. I mean the volume. It's not a lot of volume right now, so I'm just waiting. Even though it's back at our break-even point, I'm not doing anything because the volume is so low. So I'm not even phased by that much of it.
Okay, so what I talked about here.
You look at this candle, look at this volume.
So here I talked about, we saw bullish push up here, but the volume is low, right? So it's not convincing that we should close the candle, right? We should close. It's not convincing, right? So that's one thing that helps out. Once we have an entry, we're going to be watching volume, right? The bullish volume is declining, okay? Some people use footprint. Some people just use the volume. Some people use volume profile, etc. So I just have the basic volume right here because my overall bias and idea comes from the big picture and intraday fundamentals, looking at market internals, etc. Everything else after that, price action and volume as well, but the more specific volume, like types of indicators, they're helpful. You can add them, but the most important play or the most important thing here is the idea, the trade idea, right? And then I have several confirmations. I'm just looking at R2K and NAS 100 is dipping. So here, that one hit TP. I'm telling them about closing 50% here and keeping the rest open until we cross over the 9 EMA. Okay. And then if we are to consolidate here, I'm not going to take the breakout. I want to see some consolidation and then the breakout, or a breakout and then the retest. Okay. So that's three scalps on the board so far. And what happens is US30, it pushes up. Okay. It pushes up. And what I'm looking at for NAS 100 is this here. So I was overall bullish on NAS, and this is one of the levels that I marked up. Okay. So we actually took a buy here on NAS, but I actually just took it really quick. And a few other people saw what I saw. So NVIDIA was up. We were looking at NVIDIA. NVIDIA was up like 9% on the day, right? So we had the drop on US30. We had the drop on RTY, but NQ and ES were holding up. And I believe it was due to NVIDIA. It's a mammoth. It's a big, massive, has massive weight when it comes to indices, right? So we took a buy on NQ before the drop. Here, quick buy up to, let me show you this level. All right, so I'm managing different trades at once. So we enter into a sell on RTY, and then as it plays out, I'm gonna come back. So here, entered into the buy down here on NQ, and then I start to exit around here, okay? And then I start to tell the group that we could buy once we pass up through VWAP, we can buy. So this is sort of like a move, a pop down and a bounce back up to VWAP, right? What we wanted for US30, but I didn't take that on US30 because all the ADD, ADDQ, all the market internals were down, right? But I was willing to take the buy on NQ because of NVIDIA was that big mammoth was there holding up, right? So we entered into a sell on RTY, similar to the US30 play. But watch what I'm gonna do. I'm looking at volume. I want to see price go in my favor quickly. So here I'm kind of scanning to see where we are. I'm setting alarms on US30 here. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to RTY. So I'm going to watch it here, right? And I want to see this level, small time frame level hold. Okay? Because what I'm worried about with RTY versus US30, RTY has SMCI as the highest weighted stock, and SMCI is one of the tech stock, and it was up like almost 4% on the day. So I could see it kind of holding up, just like NVIDIA was holding up in Q versus US30, how it dropped. RTY is also kind of held up a little bit, I believe, by SMCI, right? So, but all we needed is a pullback on SMCI and a pullback on NVIDIA. Boom, they're gone, they're dipping. So here I tell the group, let's close. I'm closing this one, and I'll just watch it again. Boom. So I tell them to close. So scalping, you want to have momentum come in, you know, and then so I tell them to close, right? Because with scalping, you want to have momentum come in. This is not trade. This is not a trade to hold. This is not a swing trade. We want our idea to go in our favor quickly, right? But once we start to have some rejection and things aren't holding, we can exit with a small loss, right? And then look at this. Look at what happens. I think we're going to crawl all the way back up, and it would have hit stop loss, right? So we were right to exit, right? So it's a different way of thinking when you're scalping. So NQ put all the way through VWAP, right? And this is around like 1048. So at this time, we've taken US30 twice. We've taken gold. We've taken NQ, and we've taken RTY. So we have 4 wins and 1 loss, which is a very small loss, a minor loss compared to what we did, what we took on, right? So this is the first half of the day, and this is why I ended the call, and then I came back after I went to lunch. But if you like this video, check out my CPT quiz. To take the quiz, click the link in the description, and I'll send you a report based on your results. Once you take that quiz, you have the results, then I know how we potentially can help you, right? So I have prepared free resources to help people once they fill out that report. And I'll send you a personal email after you get the report, analyze your scores, and then you can ask any questions that you have, right? So click the link in the description to fill out the CPT quiz and drop some fire signs in the comments, give some feedback about how we did on the trades. Please like and subscribe. If you want to see my 5 tips on scalping, watch this video.